So you're probably familiar on the London Tube, there's a station down in southwest London called Kew Gardens. But whilst in New York recently, I noticed there was a station on the subway there, also called Kew Gardens. So it's the natural thing to do to visit both of them and make a comparison. And so that's why, low sun, I'm here in Kew Gardens in southwest London, Kew Gardens station, just behind me over there. I'm Jeff, I'll be your London correspondent, while other Jeff is in New York. Yeah, thanks Jeff from London, this is Jeff in New York. This is Kew Gardens, completely different. There's a few police sirens, ambulance sirens, there's a busy main highway. The Kew Gardens on the Long Island Railroad, which we'll get to in a minute, is over there. But the subway station is just this little 2 innocuous steps down to get inside. So, Kew Gardens, London, opened in 1869 and has always had that name. It's always been Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens in New York, however, has sort of got a second name. The main road here is called Union Turnpike, so the station is called Union Turnpike Kew Gardens Station, which is weird because all the signs inside say Union Turnpike, but on the map, on the MTA subway map, it is called Kew Gardens. As far as I'm concerned, although it says Union Turnpike, it is Kew Gardens. So you've got the express tracks going through the middle. There's 2 island platforms, local stoppers on the outside, express just through the middle, and there's this smell. I've been in New York for 6 days. I haven't been able to determine what the smell is. Is it just the trash or the rats, or it definitely has a distinct smell. Sorry, I got that slightly wrong. It's not an express train, it's a stopper. E-trains called on that side, and F-trains, they caught in the middle, on that side.
The next stop is Forest Hill.
I'm going to take a wander up this staircase in a minute, which is grade 2 listed along with the rest of the station, but I feel like I can't do a comparison of London versus New York without doing passenger stats for each of the stations. So on screen now are the stats here for how many people come through here in Kew Gardens, London, every day, every year, and then we'll flip over to Jeff and see what the stats are over there. I think it's a lot noisier than Kew Gardens in London. I'm sat on these ubiquitous brown benches that are anywhere, so I feel like this should be the point to put up passenger statistics. I will find out how many passengers Kew Gardens Union Turnpike got in the last accounting period. I'm also happy to report that it's got a trash can / litter bin on the platform. Yeah, Kew Gardens London has litter bins as well, but more impressively what it has is this footbridge over. There's an underpass under, but the footbridge over here is magnificent. It is grade 2 listed in its own right, and it has these walls or parapets to the side, which basically are from the days of steam, so when steam trains pass through, it then wouldn't get in the way of people crossing over the footbridge. Wow, it is bright and sunny here, just like it is in New York. Oh, Kew Gardens also has this like a mezzanine level, so it's the street, steps down to a mezzanine, the ticket barriers and the gates, and then down steps again to the track level. Yes, I said track level, not platform level. So American. And then you can't come to Kew Gardens London without mentioning the fact which must be always mentioned is that there's a pub here. Do you know what? It's almost called End of the Line, but not quite. It's called Tap on the Line. And it is, I believe, the only place on the London Tube where you can sit, have a meal, have a drink. There is a pub that is immediately adjacent to the platform. So you can sit having a drink and watch the trains go by. So Kew Garden in London is used quite heavily for people going to the National Archives as well as the local botanical gardens. It's quite an affluent area, I'd say, and there's lots of independent local shops as well as the pub. Oh, and yes, sorry, the pub, I should have mentioned before, inside has old signage pertaining to the London and South Western Railway, including this magnificent original clock. The other thing about Kew in London is that it's right below the flight path to Heathrow. So when you're filming trains, all you get is the noise of aeroplanes. It's so noisy. And that is your short tour of the Union Turnpike Kew Gardens station as it's known. I do have some footage, by the way, from 2009, which you need to see. Yes, here's some really old footage of a 2009 me when I travelled around the whole of America, and I ended up going from Forest Hills to Kew Gardens, but on the Long Island Railroad, and I never went to the subway station before, which is where I'm going now in 2023. This footage was never included in my Underground USA documentary, by the way. There's a link on screen now if you've never watched that before. Alright, back to 2023. But apart from that, it's just so hot and humid and sweaty here, so back to the chillier climes, back to you, Jeff, in London. Where on a summer's evening, it was splendid to grab a cold drink and just stare out the window and watch the trains go by. And that is Kew Gardens in London up against Kew Gardens in New York.